everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a look using the Melt Cosmetics Rust palette. Now when I look at this palette, I just really get all of those fall feelings, you know? It's really beautiful. I've dabbled in it a little bit here and there, but I thought today we could do a look. I'm not exactly sure where this look is gonna go. I don't have all the answers, but we're just gonna give it a wing. We're just gonna wing it. I don't know what it is, but us girls, man, we love us some fall. Do you even love fall the way we love fall? Impossible. It's built into our DNA at this point. Speaking of those kinds of activities, these flowers back here, these wildflowers, picked by none other than yours truly and my son. We went to the loveliest little farm and had just this best day, like picking flowers and drinking lemonade and all that kind of stuff and just really soaking in the last moments of summer. It was so nice. So anyways, I'm gonna get started with this Milk Hydro Grip Primer, and I've actually only used this one other time, which I know is crazy, but this is one of my favorite products to watch other people apply. Something about like the way the packaging sounds, and then they'll apply it and it'll be all kind of sticky and they just go like that and like it makes a noise. I don't know, I just really like watching people use it. Okay, so after you smooth this on your face, it gets a little bit tacky and then you know it's ready to go. So next up, I just pumped out 1 drop of the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Pink Juice Moisturizer on the back of my hand. And I'm actually gonna be using a smaller brush today. This is the Concealer Blend Kabuki F79 by Sigma. And I'm gonna first start off by swirling my brush into that product, leaving a little bit left on my hand. A couple little pumps of the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation right on top of the area where that moisturizer was. And I mix that all together. And that's not gonna be quite enough for my whole face, but see how far it takes me. So I've been loving this technique, but I have noticed that I have to be a little bit careful around my eyes because it can cause, like if you have a super hydrated under eye, it can cause a little bit of transfer with your mascara. So I'm gonna start off by essentially painting that onto the skin. I'm using downward strokes just to kind of smooth down any little peach fuzz or anything like that. Just realized I forgot to do my little glowy luminous serum step that I always do. I always forget to do that in tutorials because I just get so nervous. I'm back with a foundation brush that I already used on a different day, but just to kind of press everything in a little bit better. Then I don't want to add any more glow, but I'm just gonna do a little teeny tiny drop of this and work it into the bristles of the brush. That way I have a bit more coverage and kind of use it as like a little bit of a concealing step. I noticed I've been in the sun so much that I started getting like a little rosacea on either side of my nose right here, and it kind of comes down around my mouth. It reminded me that I used to get that as a kid because I was spending so much time outside and it would kind of like be brought on by the sun like a flush. And I kind of forgot about it, you know, because of the pandemic and everything. I've been outside so much, and it kind of came back along with about 45,000 freckles, which I don't mind. And then I just color corrected using my Benefit Bowing Brightening Concealer. So then I'm gonna use my Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer in shade Light. Then I'm using the Cover FX Power Play Concealer in the shade N Light 1. It has a little fuzzy round applicator, so you can sort of just get right in that inner corner and really brighten it up, and then I'll tap just a little bit in the darkest part of my under eye because it's a little bit lighter than the other Flower Beauty one. Okay, and then I'm just going into the darkest parts with a little more of both shades, and I'm just gonna let that sit for a second. I really wanted to use the Tom Ford cream bronzing product that I love so much because I'm feeling luxurious today, but I thought I would try this Fenty Beauty cream bronzer. Again, I think I tried this one other time, but I wanted to give it another go. This is the shade 02 Butta Biscuit. I'm actually just gonna tap out this concealer really quick so it doesn't get too intense. See how well it works though? It's so funny, I used to bake with powders, now I do it with cream. Oh, how the world turns. I'm just using my little Flower Beauty angle brush to apply that. I definitely move towards, I'd say, cooler toned, contoury type bronzers in the fall. Sometimes they definitely get more play in my makeup bag in the fall months, I would say. I actually really like this one a lot. It's nice and even, never muddy. And it's a good shade that I can actually, I don't do a lot of nose contouring anymore, but if I feel like it, I can kind of go around with that. It's very subtle. Speaking of soap operas, I noticed during Corona times when they stopped doing the, when they stopped filming soap operas for a while, I think they might be back now, I'm not sure. They had like the original first episode of The Bold and the Beautiful on, and all these like old school 80s episodes of all the soap operas. It was amazing. I don't watch them, but my grandmother used to, and it just reminds me of her. So I definitely tuned in for that first episode, and I've kind of been watching them ever since. I know it's weird, but oh my gosh, the first episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, you guys. It's so amazing. It's so weird, like you wouldn't peg me for a soap opera gal. I don't even know if anybody watches them anymore, to be honest, but there's something that I love about them. I don't know, they're just so melodramatic and like juicy and stuff. Just really quickly gonna take my Milk Makeup bronzer and fill in the rest of the bronzing areas with that. You can see it's a bit more warm. I love that Fenty product, but it's not gonna give, you know, it's a cooler shade. Just kind of clogged pores and redness right there, so I just wanna try to keep it concealed. Okay, so since I forgot to do my usual like luminous cheekbone step that I like to do before my foundation, I'm gonna go in with more of a highlightery cream highlighter just to get that look. And this is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Beauty Light Wand Easy Highlighter in the shade Spotlight. This is one I've never tried before either. Okay, so this is sort of like a pearly, pinky champagne type of color. I'm gonna go in the lightest touch with that, but wow, that's gorgeous. This is just my bronzer brush again. So even though this look is a fall look, I do want to keep it on the sun-kissed side. So I'm going to be using this gorgeous orangey blush by Tower 28, the Beach Please Luminous color for cheeks and lips in the shade Golden Hour. So I usually just get it on my ring finger and tap it like that. It's kind of like a cantaloupe-y tangerine shade. I always go in on my nose, and I'm going to actually lay off the forehead area this time because I did that in my last video and I thought it was a little intense. Just using like a fluffy angle It Cosmetics brush, and I'm pressing into, it looks like I'm pressing right onto it, but I'm actually pressing up. So I just catch the edge, the bottom edge, and then around the front to catch the front edge, and then sort of tilt my brush up like this to blend it up onto the cheekbone. And then I give it a once over through the center. And that is pretty much how I blend out my cream cheek color. Whatever is left on my finger is just gonna kind of go across my bridge of my nose. And then whatever's left on my brush, I'm gonna go in to the forehead hairline area and the chin. Just to kind of title it. Then I'm just gonna take that little brush. What I'd like to do is make sure all this area is blended with your blush if you go across the bridge of the nose. Using a Luxie tapered highlighter brush to apply the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. First just setting my eyes, and then my under eye, and lightly swirling that around any areas that I don't want to get shiny. The Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder, just tapping the lightest amount of that onto this e.l.f. brush and just kind of tapping that around the face. All right, so now it's time to dip into this bad boy, the Melt Cosmetics Rust Palette. I am actually gonna begin with a little bit of color in the crease. I'm gonna use this Antique Shadow here, which is a matte peach shade. It has a bit of oranginess to it as well. So I'm just beginning by swirling that back and forth into the crease. I'm actually holding my brush on a bit of a diagonal so that when it comes in here, it's going down, and when it comes out here, it's pulling upwards. Bit of a circular motion. And then once that color is placed, I'm just gonna take my brush and sort of sweep it back and forth over my lid. What I'm really trying to do here is just some soft framework. So you're just letting the brush do the work, just kind of let it catch in the natural hollows of your eye without doing anything super precise. Just dipping into this yellowy creamy color called Classic. Just using that color to clean up a little. Also using that antique shade just to wing out the outer portion very, very softly. Just a bit of a smaller brush, the BH Cosmetics number 8 brush, and I'm dipping into this shade here called Rubbish. This one is just a bit of a mustardy brown. I'm starting at the outer corner of the eye right here, and then just brushing back towards the center of my lash line. And then with this outer part, I'm gonna flick it out a little, and then pull it right back in. Blending everything out. You can see we've already got our framework down for almost a little bit of a sexy little winged out number. I'm taking this Zoeva Smudger 226 brush, and I'm gonna go with the shade Rust. We're essentially doing the same exact thing here, just think of it as a little smaller. These shades just blend out so beautifully, honestly, in case you were waiting for my opinion. After everybody already loves this palette, I'll just chime in. They're just the right kind of pigmentation. You know, nice and like kind of buttery, but also they just blend really well and they blend into each other really well. They hold their color when you blend them. So just going back and forth, making sure that that's just nice and like soft and sultry and blended, because if you wait to blend everything later, you're gonna just lose the definition that you created with your like powder eyeliner. So you kind of want to make sure it's blended before you move on to the next step. So next step time. The deeper reddish brown called Mar. We want to apply a little bit less of this than the previous color, so I'm really burying that into the lash line. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay. Because it is gonna travel upwards as we blend as well. Okay, I just went in and like thickened up the wing a little bit because I just need a little bit more to play around with here. Mostly because I want to add a shimmer. This is kind of like a burnished golden brown, this color here called Tarnish. Well, I'm gonna go in with that and just kind of dust it across the top of that powder liner that we just put down. I'm hoping this doesn't like ruin everything. I just wanted like a little sheen on that lid somewhere, and I think this is gonna give it to me. Basically using that to blend out that powder liner that we did. We're not taking it all the way down to the lash line because we don't want things to lighten up too much, but I just want some sheen. And then I'm just blending the top edge of that with the lighter creamy like eggshell classic color. Just replacing some of those matte shades underneath the shimmer. Okay. I think I might just need to stop. But this is pretty much exactly what I envisioned, to be honest, not to toot my own horn. Do I want to add yellow? Are you guys screaming at home? Don't do it! I'm gonna just use it ever so softly. Just blend the outer corner. That way we can say we used it. So I just used the colors, like whatever was left on the Smokey liner brush I was using, and pulled it down like so, just to the outer corners of my lower lash line, and then I'm gonna buff that out. I'm just going to do my brows really quickly and then we'll wrap up this look. Okay, so I just curled my lashes, but I wanna give them a minute to settle a little before I actually apply my mascara. So what I'm gonna do is get some more of this Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand and highlight just that spot right in there. And that is a beautiful, beautiful inner corner highlight. And I'm just going around my face a little bit with this bronzer I'm going to show you here. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Radiant Bronze Light, and it's kind of a nice like yellowy bronze, kind of like a caramelly color. It's really beautiful, and sometimes I just sort of apply it all over, honestly. And using my Pretty Vulgar Faux Reals mascara, my Zoeva Graphic Lips lip liner in the shade Stumbling Grace. I really need to sharpen. It's like, so my camera actually just stopped recording for a second. I'm not sure if you guys saw this part or not, but I applied the Tower 28 Beach Please Luminous Color in Golden Hour on my lips. So usually I always put a gloss on over top of every single lip color that I ever wear, but this color is so beautiful and it really plays on, of course, the cheeks, but also that peach color we have in the crease, and it's just kind of tying it all together. Alright guys, so that does it for this look and also this impromptu first impressions video. Everything I tried today, I really, really loved. I am so impressed by this Milk Makeup Primer. It did not make my skin look cakey or flaky or anything like that. That's what primers usually tend to do to my skin. This, honestly, I feel like it made that Pat McGrath foundation look even better, if that's even possible. And I love just applying it, so I'm definitely gonna continue to use that. I love that so much. The Fenty cream bronzer I really love too. It is a bit softer and a little less warm than other cream bronzers in my collection, but I feel like there's certainly a place for that in my collection. And I do love that kind of cooler, buttery color that it is, and it did apply absolutely beautifully and blend out flawlessly. So I really do like this a lot. The Charlotte Tilbury highlight or beauty light wand was gorgeous. I love the quality of the glow that gave my cheekbones, and the color and everything is stunning. A little tiny bit of this goes a long way, but I also love highlighting in the inner corners with this one. And what else did I use that was sort of semi-new today? Oh, well, the Rust palette by Melt Cosmetics. I can see myself using this all season long. It is just so beautiful. And while we do see palettes like this, I would say sort of often, you know, just kind of these like yellowy toned, rusty toned palettes. This one is unique in the sense that it throws some other little wild card colors in there. It has deeper colors so that you can really do a super deep, like sultry smoky eye with it. And the textures of the shimmers, or you know, the metallic shades and the mattes are just unbeatable. It's so easy to create a look with this, so easy to use, so easy to blend out. It's just amazing. So I would highly recommend this palette to you guys, even if you think you have something like this in your collection, because that's kind of what I thought. And then I used it and I was like, oh no, 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 no. You're special. You're very special. But that is it. I really do love the products that I used today, and I'm super happy with the way this look came out. I'm loving just like these kind of cat eye, kind of sexy femme looks that are still wearable. So I hope this video inspired you guys to, you know, light a candle and cozy up. Think about fall stuff. That's really what we do here. But I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.